All right, not much of an opening statement. I'm kind of tired of talking. Let's get on with the game. You know my normal spiel on Thursday. I don't really have to dictate that, do I? So, time to go play. Fire away.
Any questions?
Yeah. Mark, you talked about the summer when you got asked about the most wins in the program history. You wanted your mom to be there. Is the family, do you get everybody here this weekend for that? If it happens this weekend?
They're going to come back for the Youngstown family reunion.
Oh, okay.
So you know, probably half of Youngstown. So we'll have a lot of folks here for that. Yeah, I think my brother Bob's coming in, and mom, and some people. You know.
How has everything looked the last couple of days? Have gone the way you wanted to?
Yeah, things have gone good. No surprises. Just trying to button things up and make sure we cross all the T's and dot all the I's and get ready to go play. You know, as you can understand, it gets to be a long time at this point without playing a game, so we're all kind of anxious.
How important is it for those freshmen to get that environment this weekend before you have to go to Florida, especially next week? I mean, it's one game at a time, but I'm sure you don't want to throw them out in that environment.
Well, just in general, you know, the general question about the freshmen, you know, you always are, you know, you want to see them. You know, you want to see what they can do, and again, kind of looking forward to see the way they play. And you know, we feel pretty good about it. But when the lights come on, some people really elevate, and you know, sometimes people are affected. You know, and I was teasing them, a couple of them over there, and asked them if they were getting scared, and they just laughed. And they said, scared about what? You know, I said, that math quiz. You know, so they don't worry about football. They worry about some other things. But they're all tuned in and ready to go. So they're not. I'm excited to watch them play. I'm sure they're going to make mistakes, just like most people do. But some very talented guys, and they need some reps under their belt.
Do you think freshmen handle that better these days than maybe 10 or 20 years ago?
I do. Yeah, I do. I just think they're more mature, more put on them, you know, at an earlier age. And, you know, we put a lot of pressure on them in practice and scrimmages and all that. So this is different, but we're confident in those guys. And like I said, I don't want them to go out there and play with any fear and, you know, worried about making mistakes. They're going to make mistakes, but we want them to be aggressive and play fast and, you know, bring us some energy and some juice.
Rich has said more than once that he's really been impressed with the football IQ and the smarts of the players, the way to be able to pick things up. How much do you prioritize that in recruiting?
Yeah, it's super important, and a lot of times you really can't get a great feel for that until they're here and they're with you and see instinctually how people pick it up. And you know how many years I've, you know, coached secondary, and you know, even through all those years, you know, sometimes you think you have somebody completely figured out, and it's not always the case. Sometimes they exceed your expectation, and sometimes, you know, the light just doesn't come on, and it will. It's just a matter of when. And some guys pick it up very quickly, and other guys need some time.
All your teams in recent years have had that kind of closer back to close out games in the fourth quarter. Do you feel good about the guys you have, you know, Saturday being able to carry that on?
Yeah, I do. We've been pretty good 4-minute offensive team, and we want to continue that. Of course, it has a lot to do with the offensive line as well, and so we'll continue to grind it out.
Mark, because of the COVID years, this might be the most experienced team you've ever had, and I know a lot of coaches can say that, but how much of a difference has that made in camp? Have you felt a difference this year with all the veterans you have?
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, we're just sitting here talking about all the youngsters that are going to play, and then the vets. And you know, I have mentioned that several times with you all, and in speaking engagement, it's a nice blend because we have some very experienced guys, and then some really talented youngsters. So I think that makes it easier on the youngsters, obviously, you know, because there's some guys to really look up to, and we have some good anchors on both sides of the ball.
You seen the older guys taking the ownership you'd hope they take?
They always do, you know, they always do. We're blessed to have really good leadership here and some good guys, and really work hard at it. And you know, when I first got here, you know, it was hard maybe to get the true captains, and now it's really hard narrowing it down because so many guys get votes, and you know, so we have good leadership.
All your guys we spoke with this week seem to have a strong respect for this Miami team. Does that stem from the leadership you're talking about?
It does, and these guys have, the guys that have been around, they understand that it's a respect that you have for the game. I mean, you can't just roll out there and play anybody. This game is just not meant to be played that way. You'll be embarrassed and humbled, if you're not prepared and ready to play. And the older guys know, they've been through that. They've, seen, games when people think, oh, it's going to be this or that, and it doesn't work out that way. That's why we play the games. That's why everybody loves it. That's why everybody wants to see what happens, because crazy things happen all the time. I probably won't talk to you guys till Saturday. Well, I know I won't talk to you till Saturday. But I'm sure some crazy things will happen between now and then.
You mentioned Monday that Kenneth was a little banged up. How has he looked?
Yeah, he's looked really good. He's picked it up, and he seems to be getting back out full strength.
What about you? As the older you get, are you any less nervous for the opener, or are you more nervous because what could go wrong?
I'll answer that Saturday night. Because now it does. After all these years, I mean, it just, once it gets on you, game week, it is a different feel, and you love that, and that's exciting for me. So I don't know. Till this point, it's been busy, and still the same way. It is Thursday night, so we're out of here, in a little while. Get home a little bit early tonight, and then it's back at it tomorrow, and thinking about what we got to do to make sure we're crossing the T's and dotting the I's, and finishing our preparation and making sure the team's in a really good spot. I worry about that and think about that a lot, and just the approach, and sometimes it changes depending on what they're doing, but these guys are, again, they're mature, they've been around, and, they know what to expect from me, and so, you never know.
What's your overall expectation of the BBN having bearing on your approach to the game? Making a difference in how you approach the minute?
No, just every situation, you've probably heard me talk about this through the years, but every situation is different, so this is the situation. It's the first game of the year, and so managing that, we do talk about that, so it does alter the way I prepare and talk to them, just because I've seen it before where we've come out and just gone crazy and get ourselves exhausted before the game, play really good for a half, and then lose it in the second half. I don't need to bring that one up. So as I tell the players, you learn from all these scars, so we try to head those off before they happen again.
When you were a player, did you like night games? Do you prefer them?
Yeah, I do. I think it just varies. Depends. If it's beautiful weather, there's nothing wrong with playing in the middle of the day either. So, doesn't matter. Put the ball down and let's go.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Take care. Yep, appreciate it.
Thank you.